I will suck your blood. I will suck your blood. I will suck thy blood.
What's up everybody, I'm Rassia, welcome to another video. This time we'll be taking a look at the new upcoming isometric survival game called V-Rising that is releasing on early access on Steam next week, and it got me hyped. V-Rising is a multiplayer isometric open world action RPG with survival and base building elements. It's something what you'd expect if Diablo made a baby with Valheim. And for that reason, I'm expecting similar success as Valheim had for this game. It seems pretty awesome and worth trying out. It's made by Stunlock Studios, which is known from Battlerite and Battlerite Royale, both free-to-play games on Steam with very positive reviews, so it's not even their first time making isometric action games. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to try this game myself, so this video is based purely on my observation of other players playing it and the information provided by the developers. The footage you are going to see here is from the official trailers and from Lyric, who streamed this game on Twitch few days ago. Link to his VOD is in the description box down below. Before you start your game, you can choose the server you want to play on. There are a few different options like 40-player public PVE and PVP servers, or you can make your own server and just play with your friends. Naturally, on public PVE servers you don't have PvP, and on PvP servers you can raid other players' castles. There is also an option for servers to enable full loot, meaning that when you die your character will drop everything. Without full loot you only drop resources like lumber when you die and not your gear. If you make your own private server, you can pretty much adjust all the settings yourself, like how fast you gather resources, your starting equipment and clan size restrictions, to name a few. Once you've picked your server, you start your game by customizing your vampire. You can play either as a male or female, and the options to customize are pretty standard stuff. You can choose your face from few presets: skin color, hair color, accessories and so on. Once you've finished with your character, you awaken from your coffin and start the tutorial area. This place teaches you the basics of the game, like how to move, fight and craft the first few items. And by the way, it's not point and click movement, you move with WASD and there are no levels. Your power is determined by your gear score, which you increase by looting or crafting more powerful items. You have 3 attacks which you use with your mouse buttons, and these depend on the currently equipped weapon, so spear has different attacks than axe. Then you have your travel ability, which is your spacebar, 2 basic abilities and ultimate ability. These abilities you can freely choose from any of the skills you have unlocked, so you can mix and match freely between the different elements, creating your own combos. You unlock new skills by feeding on powerful enemies called V-Blood carriers, but more on those later. After finishing the tutorial area by simply walking out of it, you can choose which part of the map you'll spawn from 2 different choices, and the game will finally begin. Your next goal is to find a place where you want to build your castle. This castle will serve as your base of operations, where you store and craft your items, refine the resources you gather and unlock new technologies. You can customize its look pretty freely to suit your taste with different floor tiles and decorations, some of them being exclusive to DLC. Gathering resources for your castle is rather simple. You can chop down trees for lumber, hammer down stones for stones and ore, hack down weeds for plant fiber and so on, pretty basic stuff. Once you have found a place suitable for your needs, you place down the castle heart to claim the spot for yourself. You can place 2 castle hearts, so you can have 2 different castles in 2 different places. If your castle heart gets destroyed, your whole castle will be destroyed, so it's important to keep it protected on the PvP servers, much like in other similar base building survival games like Rust. Other players can also seize control of your castle, so be aware of this if you want to play on a PvP server. Your neighbors might take control of your castle, which you worked hard on. I'm not sure if your castle can be destroyed on the PvE servers. When you die, you can choose where you want to respawn from any of the way gates you have discovered, or at your castle if you have built a wooden coffin there that works as a respawn point. This coffin also allows you to sleep in it, which should make the day and night cycle move faster if you are on a private server, but that's not yet confirmed, it's just how these features usually work in other similar games. The main feature of this game is that you are playing a vampire with all the vampire gimmicks, which means during the day you'll take damage from sunlight and need to move from shade to shade to keep you covered, otherwise the sunlight will burn you pretty fast. You can also feed on living things, and this is what the gameplay loop of this game revolves around, but first let's cover the basics. Feeding on enemy gets you their blood type and replenishes blood in your blood pool. Blood pool works as a way to replenish your HP, and if you run out of blood, you'll start to take small damage over time. There are various items like Vermin Salve, which you can use like mana potions to replenish your blood pool. You can see the blood type and the blood quality of the enemy at the top of your screen when you hover over the enemy. For example, if you feed on a wolf, you'll gain the creature blood type, which now gives you different passive bonuses depending on what quality the blood was. Each of the blood types have 5 levels of various bonuses. The level 1 bonuses you get when you feed on an enemy whose blood quality is between 1 to 25. The level 2 bonuses you get when blood quality is something like 26 to 50. Level 3 seems to be 51 to 75, and I'm guessing level 4 is something like 76 to probably like 95 or 99, and the level 5 might be 95 to 100%. These numbers might not be the exact numbers when the game is released, but you'll get the idea how the blood type and its level are determined. If you have a good blood type and quality, you can share it with another player via the Expose Vein skill, but it's not free, doing so will reduce your blood pool to half. Some enemy bosses are V-blood carriers, and drinking their blood will allow you to claim their power and knowledge as your own. This might mean new powers, structures or crafting recipes which are unlocked once you defeat that enemy and feed on it. Defeating and feeding on V-blood carriers is the gameplay loop I mentioned earlier to progress your character in this game. Find a V-blood carrier and defeat it to unlock new structures, which you then use to craft better tools so you can gather better materials to craft better gear, so that you are able to hunt more powerful V-blood carriers, and the cycle continues. There are even rare set items that you can craft that have passive bonuses which you get the more items of the same set you have equipped on. You can build blood altar in your castle, which allows you to start hunting these V-blood carriers. When you start tracking any of them, you'll see a red trail leading to the direction where the boss is located. Some of these bosses have gear score restrictions, meaning that if you are under that score, you cannot start tracking them. During your travels hunting these powerful enemies, you might come across silver coins. Silver coins is the currency you can use to purchase items from NPC merchants. You can find the silver coins in chests around the world. However, since vampires are vulnerable to silver, carrying it will put a silver sickness debuff on you, making you take damage over time based on the amount of silver you are carrying. You can notice this debuff easily from the borders of your screen. Other players will also see a silver effect on your character, so if you play on a PvP server, others can clearly see that you are carrying silver and might want to attack you on sight. You can always drop the silver to get rid of the effect, but others can then take the silver from the ground. The map seems pretty huge, so you don't immediately run out of content. In fact, there's supposedly 80 hours worth of PvE content, and I can easily see new areas being added if the game becomes successful. To move around in such a huge map, you have few options. You can use the waygates that are scattered around the map to quickly teleport you between places. However, much like in Valheim, you cannot teleport while holding resources. You can also shapeshift to different traveling forms if you have the proper power unlocked, like Wolf to increase your movement speed, or even into a bat to fly around, or you could get yourself a mount. Some other random interesting things I observed was that there is no weight limit and the stack limit for most items is 500, and there are 5 resistances: sun, garlic, fire, holy and silver. You can increase your resistance with better gear or by drinking brews or potions to raise that resistance temporarily. By now you should have a good idea what this game is about and how it plays out. I'm pretty hyped about it. I like isometric games, survival and base building games, and I really like Valheim, so getting a similar game as Valheim in isometric perspective surely got me excited. But let me know what you think. Is this a game you will pick up? I'll probably start making guides for this game as soon as it's released, if I feel like it's a good game, so make sure to subscribe and drop a like if you made it this far. It's completely free and helps me out a lot. Thank you for watching, have a great rest of your day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.